basic concepts that you're discussing at that point in your presentation, and then you got some image on there that serves as a visual metaphor.
My name is Tahira Jackson. I am a graduate student here at UCCS, and I am studying sociology.
My name is Brandon Anders. I am an undergrad here at UCCS with a major in theater and a minor in sociology.
Hi, I'm Jeff Montes de Oca. I'm a professor of sociology. This class is called Men and Masculinities. I like teaching it for a variety of reasons. The first reason I like to teach it, probably it's a little bit selfish of me, but students that sign up for this class are usually really excited about the material. So they do the reading, they take an interest in it, and it's a very discussion-based seminar. So we sit around and we have fantastic discussions. What do you think?
I do think the discussions are awesome, and I think that I did join the class because I was interested in it.
It's basically a book club with case studies. It's wonderful. It's a great time.
There's a lot of work. You know, there is a lot of reading in this class, and you have to do the reading really closely because it is a discussion-based seminar where the students are all teaching each other. So students show up to class prepared to talk.
So it's usually not met with just a lecture, which can sometimes get kind of grueling. We're all talking about something that we've all had thoughts on, and it's really nice to get other opinions and perspectives that I wouldn't get.
One of the things that makes this class, Men and Masculinity, so important to sociology is sociology is a discipline, like most other social sciences and humanities, and the physical sciences, for that matter, have always studied men. It's just that they never said they studied men. What they've always said is, we study humans, in whether it's as sociologists or biologists or physicists or whatever it is, we just study people. But what they've always studied is they've studied men, and predominantly white men. It kind of recreates this sense of what a human is, what a normal human is, that's highly constructed.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. I think it's really important to study men specifically because I think we have institutionalized studying women with feminism, and so I think that it's important to study men as well to give them the same focus that we have given women because, like you said, when studies are done, it's usually kind of generalizing to humans as a whole, but it doesn't focus specifically on like minority men and things like that.
Well, a lot of men participated in that and said, well, wait a second. There's a lot of problems that women are talking about that we are at the center of. I think one way that people should be applying this to sociology is, first of all, there's a lot of sociological theory in this class, particularly feminist. Intersectionally, that's a central theme of this class. So I think that's really useful. I mean, there's a lot of ways in which this class is very useful. Doing research, doing primary research. So having a theoretical perspective that you use to analyze observations of the social world, that's really useful in your other classes. I hope this class is most useful though for everyday life. Rethinking what it means to be a man. I mean, one of the things that the American Psychological Association came out with a number of years ago is that traditionally understood ways of being a man are in fact really harmful to a lot of men. And one of the things that this class forces you, particularly if you are a man, is to think through what it means to be a man. What have we been taught about manhood? And what are the costs to us as men for that? As well as what are the costs to women that are in our lives and other men that are in our lives. Understanding how gender operates, how gender operates in institutions, that gender itself is an institution, and thinking about some of those difficulties and complexities regarding the way we tend to understand masculinity, making spaces more fair, more equitable, more democratic. That is ultimately the goal of sociology.
If I were to go to grad school, this class would be a major reason for that. It's really fun and interesting that this class is geared towards both undergrads and graduate students. so that you can kind of get a sense of what it's like to be in graduate school as an undergrad. And it's also just really, really fun to do your own research on something that you care deeply about, and get a good start into this field.
I had never taken a class of this structure prior to grad school, so my first semester in grad school was very scary, having to come up with discussion questions, but I think that classes like this definitely help prepare you for what they'll expect of you in grad school.
I remember in my intro to Soc class, my professor noted that once you start thinking about these things, these theories of how society functions, you can never unsee those puppet strings. And this class, I think, is extremely prevalent. Especially me being a man and going into other, just men circles, I can see a lot of these concepts taking root in society and how they function in real time instead of reading about it.
When I thought of college, before I went to college, I always imagined it was people sitting around debating ideas. And so that's the space I really want to create in the classroom.
Yeah. I think you kind of push engagement by doing that, by having that kind of, everybody has to do their own discussion, and then having like the classes all be discussion based. I think it kind of makes you engaged, and like it makes it fun, it makes it worth it. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we've been learning has kind of reaffirmed things that I've seen in society. But I think that what I will remember the most are the scholars who have specifically focused on minority voices, so Mexican Americans and Asian Americans and then African Americans. I think I'll specifically remember some of the theories that scholars have found that minority communities, or minority men in particular, have developed to deal with stigma.
For me, the most surprising has been the emphasis on sex in this class. Growing up as a man, I never really talked about that with anybody, especially not my family. And so to talk about that specifically geared toward men is something I was definitely not expecting.
I think it would shock people if they just like walked in on some of the random conversations we have. So this is my second semester in the grad program, so I have not yet picked a specific study to focus on. So this class is kind of helping me pick out what I'm interested in. I think I'm particularly interested in race and gender, which is why I'm taking the Men and Masculinities class, to see if that gender piece is really what sticks with me. I don't think that I took as many classes in my undergrad to prepare me for graduate school as I could have. I definitely now know that there are so many 4,000 level classes that cater to both grad and undergrad students that I could have taken that would have helped me, but I did not. This class, compared to all of my other graduate classes, I definitely think this class is the most applicable to things that I see in everyday life. So everything that I have learned about sociology, I have learned from the UCCS Sociology department. I owe them so much. So I do think that I can confidently say that UCCS prepared me for my graduate work, yes. I think my favorite thing is being able to talk to, yeah, it's Jeff. But I think being able to talk to so many different people from so many different backgrounds, men and women, about such an important topic. Masculinity is everywhere. Representations of masculinity are everywhere. And so I think being able to have conversations about things that we don't usually have conversations about. I mean, we don't usually talk about masculinity and how pervasive it is, but I think I really enjoy getting to have those conversations with people.
I think just different perspectives all the way around are really interesting. I'm a straight man, so getting perspectives from queer people in that class, queer students, is amazing to understand.
Everybody should study sociology in any form, even if it's just intro level sociology. I think it's so important for people to broaden their mindset and to, care about others. And I think sociology really pushes people to be open about people's differences, and I think we need a lot of that in the world.
The thing is, we all live in this society, we all live in this world, we're all experts on the world we live in, we have our own biographies, our own experiences, and we all bring those into the classroom. So in a way, I don't really have anything to teach students other than a language that sociology provides. And one of the things I just love to see with students is they say, I knew that, but I thought it was just me. Or they'll say something like, now I understand why my father acts the way that he did. And it's incredibly powerful to have a language that allows you with great precision to describe and express the world that you've experienced your whole life.